Welcome to How to Be a Person, a podcast about life with me, your host, Giuliano Grimaudo. All right, Alan, what is going on, my friend? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I feel privileged and honored to speak into anyone's life. So anyone watching or listening, I don't take it lightly. I remember in the beginning when it was crickets and no one cared. So thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you came on. For anyone who doesn't know, I was connected with Alan because I just had your business partner, Kevin, on the podcast not that long ago. So people like that episode. I'm assuming they're probably going to like this one too.
Nice.
But just like I was telling you before we got on, and what a lot of people listening probably already know, I was an Uber driver for over 10 years. And I had the best conversations, like to the point where when people were getting out as passengers, they're like, this was such a good conversation. I can't believe I've never had a conversation like that in Uber. And so I was having all of these great conversations, and I wanted other people to be able to listen in and like hear these types of conversations. And so whenever I have a guest on, I purposely don't want to know much about them. I just kind of like, hey, I'm trying to replicate the same thing. So
Nice.
For anyone listening, I don't know anything about you, right? Other than you're Kevin's business partner. And so I figure let's just kind of get to know each other and we'll go from there. So please, Alan, tell me a little bit about yourself.
First off, you're in good company with that. I started a podcast called Conversations. This is before Kevin and I partnered up.
Okay.
It was called Conversations Change Lives, because I thought back to where I grew up, and I playfully refer to where I grew up as the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. We'll get into that in a minute. Small town, small-minded. And I thought to myself, like, because I was very successful in corporate in my early 20s, and I'm 36 now. I often joke, I'm hoping to hit puberty at 37. Nice.
You said it, not me.
Nice. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
so funny.
No, it's true. You got to call the elephant out. It's like this 15-year-old who's so wise about life. But the point that I'm making with Conversations Change Lives is I thought, like, what made the difference? And I used to think what made the difference, because a lot of my friends from home, they had big dreams, or at least I thought they did. Right. And I achieved most of the dreams that I had, and they really didn't. And I wanted to know, like, what made the difference? And back then I thought it was because I had great mentors. And I don't actually believe that's why anymore.
Okay.
And we'll get into that. But ultimately, I wanted to start a podcast where it's like, okay, well, I want to bring this. This was the theme, right? I was an engineer. I became an engineer from this much logic. Ready? Alan, you're good at math. Alan, engineers make a lot of money. Alan, you should be an engineer because engineers are good at math and they make a lot of money. That was like, and I remember thinking, I was at a company called Tyco Safety Products. It was a summer internship. I was 18 or 19 years old in college. And I remember thinking, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And I was behind a desk, circuit boards, and I was like, no. And I thought, why didn't anyone tell me that this was going to suck? And so then I got my MBA and all this kind of stuff. So Conversations Change Lives was a podcast that I was going to interview nurses, and I was going to interview engineers, and what did you think it was going to be like versus what is it going to be like? And so great conversations is what I think has helped shape me into the man I am today. So you're in good company with that, man, and then believe it or not, Kevin was my first guest.
Really?
He was a foreman.
The first guest.
First guest. Yep, first guest. Foreman at a construction company, weatherization company. He traveled all up and down the East Coast. You heard his story.
Yeah.
And he was my first guest. And he had a podcast called the Hyperconscious Podcast, which was change the way you think, change the way you act, change the way you live, aka get off autopilot.
Yeah. And
I was his first guest. And then we eventually had the worst titled podcast of all time, which was the Conversations Change Lives meets Hyperconscious Podcast.
Shut up. You guys, that was really what it was called?
100%.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
Rookies.
At least you're aware now. You're like, that was
100%.
terrible.
It was terrible. And we did that every week for 20 weeks. And then eventually we went all in on Hyperconscious. Yeah. And then we rebranded to what's now known as Next Level University, 4 or 5 years after that. And it's been that we started that in March of 2017. And so it's been 8 years.
Wow. Yeah. You know, that's a really cool story. I feel like, it's so funny what you said about mentors, but also the conversations, because if you ask someone who is super successful, right, it's like, what's the thing? A lot of times they will say like having the right mentors.
100%.
But I feel like I've had a very similar experience to you where it's like, okay, don't get me wrong. Yes. Like I read books from people who are very successful. And I view them almost as a mentor, right? They don't know they're mentoring me, but they're mentoring me through their books. Right.
Same.
But to me, I really feel that a lot of where I am today is number one, because of what's happening in my brain. And I believe what's happening in my brain is because of all of the conversations and perspectives that I was exposed to over time.
100%. We're in full agreement with that. There's a term called existentialist.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of an existentialist?
No.
Have you ever
I mean, I've heard the term sounds familiar, but like.
Okay. Yeah, all good. So you probably have read, maybe not, A Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I've read that book 50 plus times. It's one of my go-tos. Yeah, it's one of the best books I think ever written.
Interesting.
It helps you orient your life around meaning. But he talks about a therapy modality he created called logotherapy. Logotherapy. And he's an existentialist. An existentialist is someone who questions their existence. And to me, what I think really does it is you are constantly questioning the point of life. You are constantly questioning yourself, others in the world. Why? So you can think more accurately. So I always, when I give speeches and trainings and coachings and stuff, I always say, everyone think of a terrible decision you made in high school. And every hand goes up immediately. And I'm like, well, I've got one, at least one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got one. I said, you would never do that again. Who here would never do that again? All the hands go up. Yeah. And I say, okay, why? You are now aware of the long-term consequences, potential long-term consequences of that terrible decision. So I'm Allen version 3.6. Allen version 3.6 is smarter, more aware, more intelligent, more capable, more skilled, more. Allen version 3.6 is far better than Allen version 2.6, which is far better than Allen version 1.6, who did that dumb thing that I'm not going to share publicly. I'm joking. I lost my virginity to someone I barely knew. It was fucking stupid. The truth is, I thought that's what was good. I thought that was cool. She was 19. I was a badass. It was a whole thing. But the truth of the matter is, luckily nothing permanent happened. Luckily nothing negative happened.
Yeah.
Luckily, right? I mean, there's a lot of negative that could have happened.
Sure.
And the point I'm making about the existential thing is, if you have great conversations with great people and you contemplate yourself, others in the world, you become very intelligent very quickly. And intelligence is the one thing that alarmingly people don't care about, but I think is the most important thing. What's the difference between a dog and a human? A human being has a prefrontal cortex, dolphins, primates, and humans. And we can project into the future. We can design, we can make TVs, and we can make phones, and we can make cups, and we can, you've never seen a dog creating a home. We are capable of creating things with our brain. And growing up, I was this sort of achiever, intelligent guy who didn't get along with other people very well, because as an engineering brain, I learned very quickly that it's not socially acceptable to be smarter than. And I'll give you an example. So when a girl says, do I look fat in this? And you say yes at level 6 out of 10, that doesn't work very well. Yeah. And that's a playful example. But the truth is, I found out very quickly people don't want the truth. You and I do. And I can see it all over you. And Kevin also told me that before I came on. And so at the end of the day, anyone who is avoiding truth is already triggered in this conversation, brother.
That is so interesting. Okay, so what I was thinking about during this is, have you seen The Dark Knight with Christian Bale?
Of course.
So do you remember when they turned everyone's cell phone into like a 100%. Sonar? Yep. So like they walk up to the screen, it's like you can see everything because everyone's phone became this little piece of sonar. And I'm realizing it's like the more conversations you have with people, it's like you get to see the world through their eyes. You have a lay of the land that you would not have had otherwise. And it's exactly what you said.
Metaphor.
I just literally just popped in my head. I was like, oh, that's exactly it.
That's a great metaphor.
It's like you want an accurate view of the world. The best way to do it, because you cannot live their life, 100%. Is to have a conversation with them and see through their eyes what they've seen.
And then you can see the world more accurately. So if I hold this up and you're on YouTube, and you can see this side and I can't. So I see this logo because I turned it and showed it to you, but you can see this. So I can say, hey, what do you see? And then I can tell you, oh, that's not what's on my end. So mine says Pro Mix. If you want to see things three-dimensionally,
Yeah.
you have to be able to look from all the different perspectives. And I do think there is objective truth. It's something you get closer and closer and closer to, but you never actually get there.
Yeah.
But the difference between me at 36 versus me at 26 is I have way more perspectives from way more people. I coach people all over the world. We're heard in 180 countries. There's only 195. Most people don't know that. And I have so many perspectives now. I've coached people in not every industry, but most industries, financial services and real estate and blah, 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 and clinicians and inner work and outer work and all this stuff. So I learn from all my clients. I have 23 clients currently. One is 4 times a week, 2 or 3 times a week. One is 2 times a week. And then it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. But my point of this is how many perspectives do I get? Dude, I get perspectives every day. Yeah. I get to do this every day. I have 5 coaching sessions today, and I work 6 days a week. So I'm just upgrade. And now I have no friends.
Okay. But isn't it funny though? So I coach as well, but like when you are having conversations with someone, like it is not just one-sided, right? In the sense that like they're strictly benefiting from you. It's just like you said, like you're benefiting from being able to have
100%.
Those conversations with those people.
100%.
It's so amazing. So here's
but there is someone benefiting more.
Besides you or the other person?
Yeah, there's always one person benefiting more.
Okay.
And that's really important for me to understand. It took me a long time to understand that.
Okay.
If I'm mentoring a 7-year-old, they're getting more than I'm getting.
I see what you're saying.
So in the context of basketball, if I call up Michael Jordan,
I was like, who's this third person that's benefiting?
No.
You're saying one between the two of you is benefiting more.
So between you and I, one of us is benefiting more. One of us is, we're both benefiting.
Sure.
And the listener's definitely benefiting. And this is free. I think your podcast is free.
It is free.
Okay, awesome. So this is free. So this is very smart for you to listen to this rather than some nonsense. But ultimately what I've come to realize is that in coaching, I'm being paid to have deep conversations. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, wait, why are they paying me? Oh, because I'm so much more aware. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm learning from my clients, and I have 23 of them. I've coached hundreds of people at this point. Yeah. I've learned from every one of them, even if it's what not to do or what not to be. Yeah. But they're learning a lot more from me, and that's what they pay me for. They pay me for all the other perspectives. So let's say I have one client, and her name's Bianca. She doesn't mind me using her as it. Okay, she gets all the 22 other clients' knowledge from me. And so that metaphor you used of like everyone's cell phone. Yeah. In all different countries, all different cultures, all different backgrounds, all different industries, men and women. It's been so freaking cool. Yeah. And yes, obviously I am not fun at a barbecue.
Who knows? Maybe. No. If someone wants to get coached.
Yeah. Which is no.
Not at a barbecue.
Not at a barbecue.
Okay. Before, when you were holding up the water bottle, okay, this is what I thought was really interesting. Is you were like, I believe there is objective truth, which in this metaphor is the water bottle, right? Mm-hmm. What's so funny though, right, is if you're like, what are you seeing? And I'm like, what am I seeing? And they can be different things, right? Because on one side, I mean, same thing, I have a water bottle here, right? On the front is Trader Joe's Mountain Spring. On the back is a bunch of numbers, right? And so if I ask you what's on here and I'm looking what I'm looking at, it's different things, but they're both correct.
I know.
We're looking at the opposite side. Yes.
And they're both wrong. And that's the thing. So what I would do is I would ask you, what do you see? And you'd say, hey, I see the numbers. 0 calories, unless that water's weird.
No, it's pretty sure 0 calories.
And then I'm saying, well, I'm seeing Trader Joe's. Okay, what's Trader Joe's? It's a company. Okay, what's a company? Well, it's a private company. Okay, what's the difference between private and public? And then you just go down the rabbit hole. And the more distinctions you have, the more intelligent you become, the better choices you can make. Like I always say, this iPhone, the iPhone Pro Max, when I was in high school in 2007, they came out with the very first iPhone. Yeah. That was a revolutionary breakthrough. You remember? Yeah. That would be hot garbage now. Hot garbage,
so
dude.
True.
Because this is the 16 Pro Max, and this will be hot garbage in 20 years. So, and I think the same with human beings. Like this is Allen version 3.6. But when I'm 4.6, I'm going to look back and think I was an absolute moron.
Yeah. You know what I love about that? This is one of the things that I say to people all the time is like, I don't want to be the same person today that I was even yesterday.
Yep, same.
But the issue, and I guess it's not necessarily an issue. Everyone's on their own path. But I feel like there's so many people who aren't even on that journey yet of like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to improve my life. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, like I feel like I look even just over the last 6 months at how much I've changed. And I'm like, and over the last several years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to get on this train, man. You got to start like trying to improve your life, you know?
Yep.
It's
And you
pretty
try to,
interesting.
it's the hardest thing in the world. My car accident at 26 that I told you about. Did I tell you about it?
No.
Okay. I'll give you the briefest possible version, but
Okay.
I hold empathy for people who aren't trying to improve themselves and
Mm-hmm.
aren't into personal growth and self-improvement and personal development. I've learned how to have empathy because it's so frustrating. But I got in a car accident that got me to really get off autopilot.
Mm.
And I'll explain. So
That's what it is,
when
though.
I
Autopilot. It's funny. I've been
exactly
saying lately. I've been trying to like figure out how to word it, and that's exactly what it is. Because like I just say, oh, people they're just operating, but that's what it is. It's like you're kind of just living life on autopilot. Again,
it's
not
surface
not not a
level,
judgment, just a description. You know?
100%. And
Yeah.
honestly, all of us were at some point.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's why it's so hard because from this frame, it's get off autopilot, man.
Yeah.
But from, you were at 1.2 and so was I.
Yeah.
So
Everyone.
birth father died in a car when he was 28, when I was 2, in 1991. Stepfather from age 3 to 14, I'm going to give you the very short version. I don't want this podcast to just be about my story. Seriously, I'd rather talk about what we're talking about. But from 3 to 14, stepfather. My real last name is McCorkle. I'm the only non-Greek Lazarus. People that are Greek, they look at me and they go, blonde hair, blue eyes, Lazarus? I'm the only Lazarus Ken doll. Okay. But anyways, so 3 to... there you go. You can laugh. You can laugh. 3 to 14. 3 to 14, stepdad left at 14.
Okay.
This is from 1991 to the early 2000s. 90s were wild. I don't remember. Where are you from? Are you from the U.S.?
Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago. Okay, so 90s, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So the economy in the U.S., largest economy on planet Earth by far. A lot of people, when I say that, they get very upset. It's not because I'm an American. It's the statistics. Look up the GDP.
Yeah.
So in 2024, 25 trillion for the U.S., 19 trillion. Next closest was China. So in the 90s, it was ridiculous. .com bubble, everyone was it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And my stepdad and he did very well. He worked for a company called AGFA. They did hospital computers during the .com era.
Okay.
So we had a yacht, we had boats, we had, you know the deal. Snowmobile. I mean, everyone was running amok, it felt. Skater Boy, X Games. I mean, it was wild. It really was. It was like, wow, people really need to get back to their grassroots. But anyway, so alternative punk rock, let's rock. Okay, so he leaves at 14, takes 90% of the income with him. This is where I got off autopilot to an extent. I went from boats and ski trips and Xbox and Halo 2 and all that to we don't have cable. I get free lunch at school because our income is so low. I don't know how I'm going to go to college because I can't afford it. My dream college is $50,000 a year. It's called WPI, Worcester Polytechnic Institute. It's kind of like a mini MIT. And that same year, my mom gets in a fight with my Aunt Sandy, her sister. We get ostracized from her side of the family. So kind of, sort of, summarizing all this as short as possible, I kind of lost 3 families by the time I was 14.
Yeah.
Same year, sister moves out. To this day, I've only seen or spoken to 2 human beings from my mother's side, 0 human beings from my stepfather's side. We did reconnect with them, right? We did reconnect, and I couldn't even have talked about this in my 20s. This is like abandonment issues through the roof, right?
Sure.
McCorkle side, my birth father's side, we reconnected, but it was very Ghost of Christmas Past. I looked just like my dad. It was not the same, right?
Yeah.
And we weren't associating with the McCorkles when we were trying to be the Lazaruses. I took his last name, I think, around age 7. And my mom and stepdad did not get along. That is a very polite way to put it. So 14, I became this prove myself super achiever. Abandonment issues, the whole 9. But I became this social chameleon. So I would try to fit in. Don't lose any more friends. Don't lose any more family. Just fit in. And I realized that that's where the existential conversation started happening. I started manufacturing belonging because I was so afraid of abandonment. Became this super achiever, but I had tons of friends. And it was like my paradigm, my deep belief about life unconsciously was achievement first, like all my awards in the background. All right, achievement first, friends second, fun third. So naturally, I had a ton of friends. I brought my high school friends to college friends to corporate. Got in my car accident at 26. Head-on collision, my fault. Crossed the double yellows. Not a fender bender. Bad. Lift-kitted pickup truck. No one was killed, fortunately, because if they were, it would have been my fault. Physically very rattled, but no permanent damage. Dark winter night back in 2015. That was 10 years ago. That took me off autopilot completely, dude. My dad died in a car when he was 28 years old, suddenly, in 1991 when I was 2.
Yeah.
I saw what that did to my mom and my sister. I was 26, and this is the second chance my dad never got. And I wasn't going to mess that up. That's when I found personal growth, self-improvement, and personal development. And from that moment until now, I'm telling you, dude, I better every day. And I'm not kidding, every day.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable what can happen when you focus on improving yourself every day. Because before that, I was trying to achieve something externally.
Yeah.
Now I am working on me in alignment with my achievements. Whereas before it was achievement first, self second. Now it's self first, achievement second. And that's way more fulfilling and way more effective long term.
I feel too that when you're focusing on yourself, that the external stuff is more of a byproduct as opposed to like the goal. It's kind of like you work on yourself, and therefore everything around you, everything you do is elevated because of it.
100%. Well said. Byproduct is a term that I use constantly.
Oh, really?
Fulfillment is a byproduct of alignment with your calling.
Yeah.
It's like laughter. I can't force you to laugh. I have to say something funny in order for you to laugh. So laughter is a byproduct of a great joke. Yeah. I think fulfillment and happiness is a byproduct of alignment with your full potential.
Yeah.
And dude, I've 100%. Never heard anyone else talk about byproduct. Dude, almost no one does.
Really?
Like byproduct, yeah, no one says that word, dude.
Oh, interesting. That's so funny because that's what you just said is like exactly, I say like the exact same thing. It's like when you are living your life you said in alignment with your calling. I think there's a lot of different ways to talk about it. For me, like, and I've kind of dabbled in a lot of different, like, just
same
perspectives, right?
Yeah.
And I go,
spiritual,
I don't know which one
the whole
it is.
nine.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a part of me, like now I kind of call it like just intuition and kind of just, you know what I describe it as is just like what I feel like what I feel compelled to do. Okay. Nice. That has been my focus. Is just like, what do I feel like doing? And then I just do that thing.
Nice.
Okay. But what I will say is that when you are living in alignment with that, like you said, like what you like from deep inside you, right? Because sometimes I say this, people get cheeky and they're like, I feel like taking a nap. And I'm like, okay, clearly not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But like
hey,
from
brother,
deep,
that is
deep,
what they think. I feel like eating Cheetos and watching Netflix. No, that's not what we were talking about.
No, like what you feel
called to
deep within you, what you feel deep inside you. That
and usually you're scared of it. Usually you're scared of it. It's fear plus excitement. Yeah, we're going to get into it, man. It's good. Kevin said you two are either going to love each other or fucking hate each other. I'm glad it was the first. He said it probably the first. Yeah, those are his exact words. Yeah.
That's so funny. But yeah, that's really what it is. Like, you know what I noticed? I think actually a good example of this is, well, maybe not. I don't know. I do believe that, oh yeah, actually, no, this is a perfect example. Okay. I've thought of another one. Because I talk about marriage a lot because I have very strong opinions about marriage. I am married, and we've been married now since 2018, so 7 years. And I was also married before. Okay, I got married when I was 19, and I got divorced at 21. Okay, version 1.9 and 2.1.
Yes.
And now I got married again, like I said, 7 years ago. Yep. And obviously, if you want to, I mean, you could make as many assumptions as you want about the first one. They're probably correct, right? I was 19 years old. Brother, it lasted 2 years.
1.9 wasn't ready, man.
Exactly.
1.9 wasn't ready. Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
So,
and hey, I was 1.9 at one point, and I'm very grateful I didn't get married because I wasn't ready, man. No way. I'm still not married. I am ready now, though. Genuinely. I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, there were a lot of people who were like, oh, bet you learned your lesson, huh? Not going to get married again. Like people being like super negative or whatever. And for me, I took what I experienced and I was like, how do I grow from this? How do I become better? And going into my second marriage,
Was
I had,
that your wake up to personal development and self improvement?
let me tell you, man, if I had to pinpoint one thing, I wouldn't be able to do it because I have like this whole long ass story we don't even
Okay.
have time to cover.
Okay.
Maybe we could have another conversation another time where I go
All
into
right,
it all.
sounds
But I
good.
will
How
say
far are you?
for
I'm
sure
gonna
that's
Uber
part of it.
later. I'm kidding. Yeah, that would
So
be an
funny.
interesting existential Uber ride for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Dude, you would crush with a YouTube channel of like an Uber, and then like have them say, "Hey, do you mind if I post this?" And the people that don't sign it, you don't post it or whatever.
That was literally my idea. I
You would
didn't do it. I
crush,
didn't do
man.
it. So this is why I made this podcast, was because I tried to do it and I couldn't get the audio to work.
Wait,
And I was
seriously?
like, forget it. I'm just gonna make I couldn't get it to work in the car
Oh, that would
properly.
crush on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
with
so
a car cam, you would kill it.
So
Yeah.
people might hate me for this, but I drive a Tesla. I don't care what your
I do,
opinion is, but
brother. I do too. Model
okay.
Y.
Okay.
Best,
Yep.
One of the
Exactly.
best purchases I've ever made.
Same
It
here.
is what it is.
So what I was using these
Model Y for you?
wireless mics. Yeah. Model Y.
Nice, unbelievable.
So
right?
Kev was right, huh? Like, were you gonna
100%.
be the same or opposite?
Dude, why did they take away the self-driving? Oh my goodness! How
do you
were
mean?
you? Did you? Obviously, they still have it.
Yeah.
Were you there when it was dope?
Like,
Like,
I mean,
brother,
I just
drove
stopped
from
using it like a month ago.
Massachusetts- Brother, I drove from Massachusetts to South Carolina in 2024.
Okay.
About this time last year, dude, I had to stop this thing maybe 5 times the entire trip. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now it only does highways. Like,
What?
I think people got reluctant. Yeah, man.
No.
Maybe I have to change the settings.
I just used it. Like, literally, I just canceled because I had it set up on a subscription. I just canceled the subscription like a month ago, and it was amazing. That's how I was driving Uber. It was like doing 90% of my job for me all day long.
Dude, it's unbelievable. For some reason, we can't get ours to go back to where it does the whole thing. It won't even get off the right exit anymore.
Really? Wow. That's
Yeah,
weird.
I got to
That's
look
weird.
into it. Maybe it's on my end.
Point is,
Okay.
I'm assuming it's because of the Tesla, but I was using these wireless microphones, and it would just, whenever if the car was sitting still, it was fine. If I was driving, it was like making all this garbly noises. So I was just like, I don't want to figure that out. I'm just going to make this podcast instead. And to be honest, this has been great. Like I love doing the podcast this style.
Cool.
But that was, how it all started. Anyway, my point is, back to the marriage thing.
Yep.
When I was going to get married again, I had all of these opinions about marriage. Okay. And one of them being, and stay with me here because it seems counterintuitive,
Mm-hmm.
but before we got married, I told my wife, my fiance at the time, I said, if there is ever a point when you don't feel loved, supported, all of the things, okay, I'm giving you permission now while I'm happy and we're happy. And I'm telling you I love you. I'm giving you permission now that at that point you can divorce me if you want.
Yeah, nice.
And
nice.
So my take on marriage is that, because this is so funny, and I don't know, you might feel this way too, but there's a lot of people who say like, oh, divorce should never be on the table. And if you have divorces on the table, then it's never going to last. For me, what I've found is that the opposite is true.
Agreed. It's paradoxical.
Yes.
Brother, true love is not I need you. It's I could have anyone else and I know it, but I choose you.
Exactly.
And it's the opposite of suppression. A lot of people are in marriages out of fear of what it would look like to get divorced. That's not true love. True love is you choose your partner every day.
Yeah.
We have a Conscious Couples podcast, Emilia and I. She also has a podcast. So between the two of us, we have 3 podcasts. One of them we have together, and it's called Conscious Couples.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's how to take your relationship off autopilot. We have the 25 conscious love languages. If you ever want to have, we can both come on.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Anytime.
I'd love to have that conversation. I would love to.
We have a different studio. It's exciting, man. It would be all about relationships. But ultimately, what we try to share with people is you need oxygen. And if you need each other like you need oxygen, you're in scarcity. And then you feel you're suppressing your partner without meaning to. And you're not allowing them to grow and evolve and to explore. Now, I'm not necessarily, like, we say create your own rule book. Her and I are always checking in. Okay, you ever see Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, they say the Pirates Code. We have something called a code of commitment. It's basically like, these are our current guidelines. You know how he says it's more like guidelines than actual rules?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have guidelines
Yeah.
that can evolve.
Mm.
It's like the Constitution. You can amend it. When we met, she was 25. I was 29. Okay? I'm 36. She's 30 now. I know those numbers don't add up, but you know what I'm saying. It's because of the months.
I get it.
Yeah, the point is, we know we're going to evolve. You have to fit that into the system in advance. When you're 19, you don't know who you are yet, and neither does your partner. So do you create the space to grow together, or are you just growing apart trying to make something fit that doesn't?
Yeah.
And I've been coaching couples, dude, for 5 years. I was the science, technology, engineering, mathematics, business, and finance guy. I was the external global economy guy. Dude, I didn't know anything about the inner game. And I'm telling you right now, I've learned so much coaching couples. We've been coaching couples for 5 years every week on the week. I am so blown away at how obvious it becomes when a couple is going to win and when they're not.
Interesting.
Courage, humility, vulnerability, power, not force. Meaning like you want your partner to shine with or without you.
Yeah.
And I can tell already that you said that in the beginning of the relationship, aka you can be with anyone you want and you can divorce me if you want.
Yes.
And that's the very reason why I will become the man who you don't want to divorce.
Exactly. Okay. So because I want to tie up this point here. So when it comes to marriage, most people, they go ride or die. I'm with you until I die. Mm-hmm. To me, the focus is on the wrong thing. It's like I'm trying to have a long marriage, right? It's like what you were saying about I'm trying to make you laugh instead of trying to say something funny. 100%. It's like I want a long marriage. No. I don't want a long marriage. I want a good marriage. And then as a byproduct, my marriage will be long.
That's paradox. That's metacog. See, that's the duality and triality and quadrality thinking. Dude, I used to say this, and now I know it doesn't land. I used to say, when you learn to need nothing, you'll have everything.
Yep.
I don't need a nice car. That's why I could grind with low expenses and build a company that now I can have whatever car I want. It's a paradox.
Yeah.
If I could talk paradox, we could do a whole nother episode. It's like everything's a paradox.
Yeah.
Dude, when I was a prepubescent loser in high school, I couldn't get a girl to fucking look at me. Right? It was brutal. And I had to become the type of man that could attract what I wanted. And by the time I became that man, what I thought I wanted, I was like, nope. Isn't it so interesting? It's like these, and I'll speak from just the young dude thing. As a young dude in high school who couldn't get a girl to look at him, you think I look young now. Imagine me, 14.
I know, right? Like,
and that was 14. A tough year for me, too. So I needed significance.
Sure,
my stepdad left the whole nine. Couldn't get a girl to save my life, right? So obviously I had to get really smart. Okay. It's like no one likes the computer nerd, dude. All right. They do now, but not anymore. Not before. So I started playing the long game. And then by the time I became the man they wanted, I didn't want them. It was wild.
Yeah.
And I told Kevin this, because when we were 8 years ago, we partnered up. He was like, I want to be on Joe Rogan. And I said, brother, by the time you're the type of man who gets invited to Joe Rogan, you won't want to go on.
Yep.
And he literally, a year and a half ago, he said, brother, you were right. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, dude, I wouldn't go on even if I was asked.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Because it's gotten very political and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And again, it is what it is. Joe is Joe. It's all good.
Yeah.
Be you. But the point is Kev is the type of man now who actually could get on probably, but now he doesn't want to. And so that's that paradox. And we all, I don't think the world taught us paradox very well.
No, but you're right though. Like everything is paradoxical.
Everything.
It's kind of crazy.
It's
like,
crazy. Yin and yang.
You have to like turn everything up and look at it from so many different angles because it's like
100%.
The paradox is there.
100%.
Like every part of your life.
Well, I want financial abundance. Well, guess what's going to create that? Being skimpy for 20 years. Dude, it's a paradox. Yeah. I want to be in great shape. Okay, well, here's one. I want to look good at the beach. The people who look good at the beach aren't at the beach. They're in the fucking gym. Everything's a paradox.
Yeah.
People want, like, we have financial freedom. I'm doing very well. I'm very grateful. Dude, I work every day. They don't want my lifestyle at all, but they want the results.
Yeah.
They want to drive a Model Y and they want to have an 18-person team and they want to go on podcasts all over the world and all that stuff. It's like, but if you would never trade lives with me. I work 7 days a week, every week.
Yeah.
So it's a paradox.
Yeah.
The people who want like the quality of life that's dope aren't actually the type of people that can create it, which is why there's generational wealth and all this kind of this stuff. So it's almost like when you learn how to grind first, then you'll have the great quality of life, but then you won't have the time to go to the beach, right? So it's this whole freaking paradox, man. It's wild. Man. So I know you and I could keep going. I do got to jump, my brother.
No problem at all. Alan, I really appreciate you coming on, man. Seriously. Thank you.
You are so very welcome. This is an honor and a pleasure. And if you do ever want to have Emilia and I, we would be happy to.
Yeah. And so anybody listening who wants to connect with you, how would they do so?
Yeah. So nextleveluniverse.com. Everything that you need to know about me, Kev, what we do, book club, meetup. Most of what we do is free. We got some paid stuff. You can Google my name, as pretentious as that comes off. If you want to reach your potential, you have humility and work ethic. You're going to love me, Kev. You're going to get value. If you want big rewards for minimal effort, we are not going to get along. Like Kevin and I started from nothing and built it, and we don't believe in people with low work ethic. Like I'm not trying to help you if you don't have a sincere interest to reach your potential. I'm just oil and water. We're just going to butt heads. Yeah. The quick fixes, the buying followers, all that shit. We're not for it. Yeah. So if you have a sincere effort to reach your potential, though, please reach out.
Alan, thanks again, man. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review or share it with someone who'd appreciate it. For everything I have to offer, visit howtobeaperson.co.